it's Alicia here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about how our bodies release emotions or transmute emotions or energy, however you want to put it. And the first thing that you need to understand is that our bodies actually do or are three main things. And I learned this from my mentor, Dr. Kinderamo, who is amazing. So the first thing that our bodies are receptors. The second thing is that we're transmitters, and the third is that we are transmuters. And this is all in terms of energy. So to explain what I mean by the fact that we are receptors, think about the fact that when you walk into a room, you can, like, let's say there was a big fight and you just walked into the room and you could just feel that something is off. It's because you are receptive to other people's energies. And let's say it was the reverse, where you're really upset and people can just feel that you're upset without you ever having to say anything. And it's because we are transmitters. You are transmitting and giving off a frequency or energy. And thirdly, our bodies are transmuters. We actually have the ability to transmute energy and release energy or emotions. And emotions are just energy. So that's exactly why our bodies are able to release or transmute emotions. And knowing that our bodies have the ability to transmute energy, just like use an example, like let's say you were really sad over the loss of somebody, like a family member, and over time you started to move through that grief and that loss, and you came out the other end and you were able to feel joy. Well, sadness and despair and hopelessness are a lower frequency energy, and joy is a higher frequency energy. So how did you actually get to joy? Well, you allowed yourself to feel the despair and the grief and the loss, and that is what actually dissolved the emotion or the energy. And then you started to naturally increase your frequency to a higher state of joy. And it really helps to reference the scale of emotions or the human body scale of consciousness. I've mentioned this a few times. You can look it up. It was mentioned in the book Power versus Force, and it shows a scale of emotions, and lower on the scale is like hopelessness and despair, and higher up is like willingness and acceptance, and even higher up on the scale is like love, joy, and enlightenment. And the way that we actually reach those higher emotions or higher energies, higher states of consciousness, higher harmonics, whatever you want to call it, is actually by embracing exactly where you were, by willing to feel your emotions when you were in despair or hopelessness or feeling fear. The willingness to feel it and not resist it is exactly what transmutes the energy. Bringing your awareness to it, breathing through it, the energy dissolves and you naturally move up that scale into a higher state of consciousness. And so that kind of explains how our bodies transmute energy. And knowing this, that our bodies are able to transmute energy, you can start to see that that actually makes a shift not only for you, but for everyone around you and the whole planet. Because let's say I'm feeling hopelessness and I move through those emotions and transmute that energy. So since I'm a transmitter, and that was a frequency that I was giving off that everybody could feel, because our bodies are receptive so people can feel it, once I start transmuting that energy and moving through those emotions, I have now dissolved that energy. I've now lowered or diminished that frequency that I was transmitting. So now everyone who has a receptive body, which is everyone, can now feel that energy less. And let's say once I moved through those emotions of hopelessness, I cultivated more feelings of love. Now I am transmitting the frequency of love, and everyone on the planet can feel that as well. And people who are energy sensitive can feel this way more. So that's why it's super important to move through your own emotions, because you're not only doing that for yourself, but you're making a huge shift for everyone around you and the whole planet. And that's actually really important to note when you're thinking about what you want to do for yourself, but you also want to create the most for the people around you. And we'll use the example of like a partnership, and let's say you can't figure out a way to make both of you happy and you feel like you need to make a compromise. Well, what creates the most for you is going to also create the most for the other person. So there's no reason to like be selfish or need to come up with a compromise that both of you guys are just resenting each other. If one of you moves through your emotions, that is going to create the most for the other person. And if both of you do that, even better. So it's just super important to know how our bodies affect everyone around us. So if you have any questions on how this works, leave a comment below and I will get back to you. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and hit the bell button if you want to be notified the next time I upload a video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.